So you may be wondering why I'm sitting in front of an unfinished building. Partly because it's here, but mostly because I was trying to think about what I wanted to share with you tonight. And I realized that this building and Oligo Nation have some things in common. The building's got a strong foundation. It's bolted in because we're in earthquake country, and it's got framing and a roof. But there are a lot of things it doesn't have yet. It doesn't have electricity, doesn't have water, doesn't have windows, doesn't have doors. And Oligo Nation is a little like that. We've got a really strong foundation. We've done a lot of things in the last 7 years to build great relationships with leaders in neuro-oncology research. We've built preclinical resources. We've got a great cast of supporters. We've got an amazing board of directors. So we've got a lot of things, but there's a lot more that we're going to need to make Oligo Nation the agent of change that we're looking for. And my message to you is that the only way we can get there is if you stay with us. We really need to have everybody's support. Not just, tonight's great, and the last 30 days is great, but we really need people to be on board for the duration. Okay, on to the main agenda. And the main agenda for us always starts with research. The good news is the research labs around the world are open again. They were closed for almost all of 2020, which was a lot of lost opportunity for us and for others. We've made 4 grants so far. The first one, the AstraZeneca Yale grant, you know about now. You've met the research team. Not only is it a high opportunity area, but it is for sure the first time that a major pharma company has had oligodendroglioma on their radar. The second one is the UT Southwest. Got a brilliant team of young researchers there. They're developing new disease models and exploring metabolic pathways as a way to treat our disease. The third is to Duke. They are working on a drug that attacks a mutation that's 95% of oligos have. It's shown promise in other cancers, and if things go well, we could be seeing a trial as soon as 2023. And the final one is to University of Florida. They have an incredible immunotherapy department there. We're working with them on a approach to changing the immune environment in oligos so that other immune agents could be more effective. The second initiative in research is what I'm calling target identification or screening. The reality is almost nothing's been tried against our disease. And so there almost certainly are things out there that could be effective or partially effective for us that we don't know about. So we are working with a number of people to identify what those drugs or what those vulnerabilities are so we can take advantage of them. We're doing a high throughput drug screen with the National Cancer Institute. They're going to run thousands of drugs against our cell lines to identify which ones show activity. We're working with the Broad Institute on a CRISPR screen. CRISPR is the gene editing technology that's gotten a lot of press over the last 5 years, justifiably. And they are knocking out one gene at a time in oligo cells to find out, what hurts it. And once we know that, we can look for drugs and identify drugs that do the same thing as knocking out the gene. And the last thing we're doing is we're doing a cell surface screen with Stanford. And one of the ways that drugs target cancer is by what proteins are expressed on the cell's surface. And there are a number of things out there that could potentially work for us if the proteins that are on our cell surface are the same as what these therapies are already approached. In terms of 2021 and other objectives, we're hoping to create a stronger and deeper relationship with the oligo community, reach more people, and have more constant input and support from the community. We've developed a kind of a formalized advisory board and families committee to act as a sounding board to bring ideas to us that we maybe wouldn't come up with ourselves and to help us figure out how we get further faster. Ultimately, we have to work together, and we need the ideas of more than just a small handful of people on how to get to where we need to go. And the last thing I want to share with you about 2021 is that we're bringing in-person events back. We've missed them so much on so many different levels. And so there'll be 2 of them this year. The first one will be the golf tournament that you saw the video on. It's going to be in New Canaan, Connecticut on September 13th. It's a great course, great people, great experience. I highly recommend it. The second is the New York Inspiration Event. This will be the 4th year we've had that. Jody Kay and Team Courage have founded this and built it over time. It's a tremendous event. There'll be a lot of people there, and I know it'll be a great success. If you're in the New York metro area, I highly recommend coming. If you're not in the New York area, New York's a great place to visit. But if not, we'll have an online component so you guys can be part of it. The one thing, if you haven't been to an event for Oligo, I just want to say that it's a really beautiful thing. And all those people are there for the same reason you're there, and they share this unfortunate thing that we all deal with, but it's a bond, and it makes for a very special experience, so I recommend.